Family, greetings, one love, welcome back to my channel. Um, I'm happy that we are all here in the land of the living. Thanks for the support. In the wake of Vybz Kartel making a song called Bad Mind, I felt inclined to speak about this issue because I think many people outside of the Caribbean, Bahamian paradigm might not be aware of what bad mind is, right? And I would like to tie this in to black community relations. I want to apply this to the social uh, relationships that black people have, or I would like to speak about the lack thereof. All right. Now, Vybz Kartel made a song today that I really feel needs to be like the national anthem of the oppressed. All right. Now, barring a few expletives, barring a few themes of violence, I would say that this particular song encapsulates the struggle that we currently are faced with in the black community. Okay? Now, bad mind, in my opinion, is irrational hate, right? Irrational and unjustifiable hate for a person, right? For a person, a place, or a thing. But primarily, this takes place between people, right? We have um, some character traits in the black community that sometimes lead us to having irrational hatred for one another, right? Sometimes it stems from jealousy, sometimes it stems from envy, sometimes it stems from unrequited love, unrequited friendship. Okay, there are many reasons that bad mind develops in our community. But I would like to submit to my subscribers today that bad mind is a cancer in the black community. As Vybz Kartel said in his song, bad mind, the wickedest disease that you can ever find, because it is something that is sometimes subtle, it is covert, it is something that is unspoken, but oftentimes acted out, right? It is something that develops into gossip. It is something that develops into malicious intent, right? We find that many people harbor a lot of irrational hatred for black people, and I am endeavoring to understand. I'm trying to figure out why. Where does it come from? Okay, we don't realize that many of our people have developed some pathologies that really make them psychotic. Some of our people in our community are psychotic. They have an irrational desire to hate another black person, right? And they are completely unable to hate um, those who have oppressed them. Due to Stockholm syndrome, we very rarely would focus any of our vitriol on the sources of our problems. Oftentimes, we focus our vitriol on the people around us, right? But I try to figure out earlier today what is at the root of this phenomenon in the black community. Because we have a good brother named Leotis Brown Jr. Check out his channel, Leotis Brown. But he had a title that was actually inspiring me to make this topic yesterday, right? Because he spoke about the campaign and the propaganda that mainstream media is using to separate black people from each other. You find that black men and women are having an increased difficulty relating to one another, right? And this has resulted in the epidemic of swirling, right? Many of our people chose to swirl rather than re-establish the bonds that are so desperately needed in our community, right? But Lewis Brown mentioned this fact that at this present time, there's an increased difficulty for black men and women to have harmonious relations, harmonious socialization. You find that many of our people are espousing dreams and visions of dating outside the race, having this experience that is not necessarily the black experience. That is what most people equate to progressive living or being civilized, you know, trying their endeavor best to disassociate themselves from black people. But family, let's put together this black think tank. Let's try to figure out where does this phenomenon of malicious thinking, where this bad mind energy is coming from. Okay, because I remember I read A Raisin in the Sun. It's a novel. I think you should all privilege yourself with reading A Raisin in the Sun. But basically, in the opening scenes, a lady was returning to her old hometown, and basically the author made a point of describing um, the people who were looking through their windows and making remarks, snide remarks and malicious remarks about the person, rather than actually say that to this person. But this is a phenomenon that is deeply rooted, and we need to get to the bottom of this because we have a lot of our people who have become sociopaths, who have become psychopaths, who have become hateful of their own people. So, people, I don't understand it. I don't want to understand it, and I don't want to accept it. All right? People, let me know what your thoughts are about this phenomenon. What can we do to deal with this? Is it something in the water? Is it something in the food? People, let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below about all of this. One love.